Shalom, good Erev Shabbos, everybody. How are you? 5 weeks, possibly more. I've lost track. Who knows what today is anyway? 5 weeks since the time in which I stood outside and started my blog, not in typing, but rather live. Who believed that 5 weeks' time would still be at the same place and possibly not much better off? What's changed in 5 weeks? Everything. It's gotten colder. My hair's gotten longer. I cannot eat another piece of matzah. Our offices are quiet. The shul walls are not hearing your beautiful voices and the sounds of davening, the sounds of children running around. 5 weeks, so much tears, so many sorrows, so much anguish. After Yom Tov, I was afraid to turn on my phone because I'm afraid to see the headlines of who passed away over the Chag, over the holidays. And too many did that I know, friends and friends' parents. In fact, last night, Chana's beloved cousin, our beloved cousin, passed away at a young age of 55. Beautiful soul. A father of 12 beautiful kinderlach. Just passed away struggling with COVID, perfectly healthy otherwise. And this morning in the community, a doctor, a psychiatrist, child psychiatrist, a dear friend, a president of a local temple, a resident here of Short Hills, and my dear friend as well for many years, a mensch of a guy. Struggled for weeks, was doing better, then suddenly took a turn and didn't make it. And you ask yourself, Daloi, how long do we have to endure this? You know, to many people, TGIF is thank God it's Friday because we're going to go home, we're going to rest up, we're going to take a little schnapps, we're going to have a nice Shabbos meal, we're going to rest, we're going to go to shul, a nice weekend, a respite from a struggling and hard week. There's no such thing as TGIF these days. It's TGI whatever, makes no difference. Most rabbis enjoy Mondays because it's their first calm day of the week, but it makes no difference now what day it is. We just want it to stop. And so how does one find solace and comfort? So we have to look throughout history to find a remarkable story that took place during a pandemic, during the era of Rabbi Akiva, the great sage Rabbi Akiva, the individual who did not know the alphabet until he was 40 years old, and then he said it's never too late to study Torah. Rabbi Akiva taught us, V'ahavta l'recha kamocha. He said that loving one's fellow as much as one loves oneself, Zeh klal gadol b'Torah. This is inherently the most important element of Torah. It's a challenge. It's tough to love oneself, never mind to love another person. But to love another person as much as you love yourself, almost impossible. But to strive towards it, the compassion, the empathy, the feeling, the care, that's what we have to work on. And it was during the times of Rabbi Akiva in the Talmud that some 20,000+ disciples, 20,000+ Talmidim passed away from a magefa, from a pandemic. And it was on Lag BaOmer, the 33rd day of the Omer, that they ceased to die. We can't wait that long. We need to do something today. We need to find that cure today. Too many tears. I felt so guilty over Yom Tov, and I shared this with Chana. On the one hand, it was such a meaningful, beautiful Chag. Just being able to sleep in, which we never do because every day we work, thank God. And just being able to come downstairs and make Kiddush in my pajamas. And to daven and shmooze. And to teach the kids chess. And just to take walks. Stuff we never do. We should. And please God, now we will. But I'm sitting there thinking, do I need to have such a restful, spiritual, calm, family-oriented Pesach at the expense of other people being in hospital and struggling and crying for their loved ones? It was such an emotional, it was such a turmoil. Yet at the same time, the mitzvah of the Chag, the mitzvah of the holidays, V'ahavta l'recha kamocha, you got to love your fellow. How? V'yisa'ach sameach, you got to be joyful, you got to be happy, you can't be down. So we have to really, as we say in London, plod along. We have to really find that inner strength to believe that very soon this will be over. That very soon our beautiful shul here will be filled with your footsteps. That the children will make noise during davening. I can't wait to hear the people chatter during davening again. I miss that. Our walls miss the beautiful tunes and the words of Torah being sounded here. It was during the era of Rabbi Akiva, during this pandemic where 20,000+ passed away, that the Jewish people had to dig deep and believe that it was going to stop one day. And the Yeshua, the assistance, the help can come from anywhere. Last night I read that University of Chicago apparently have found some type of medication that it's showing real signs, tremendous signs of improvement for those that have been on ventilators, that they're off ventilators, their fevers are down. We ask God, please, it's enough already. We want to go back to our regular, crazy, Michigan rat race, insane lives. This is not normal anymore. The silence is deafening, but the silence is too overwhelming, if there is such a thing. The void of not having people to interact with every day is too much. So my friends, we're still going through this, and it's not as easy, and it's not as fast, and it's not as rapidly declining. We haven't flattened the curve yet, and hasn't ended as fast as we would have hoped, liked, and prayed for. But that doesn't mean we don't give up. The Jewish people have endured so much over so many years. Humanity has endured so much. And the last thing we can ever do is give up. We have to strive each day to pray for those that need, be there physically for those, and mentally and emotionally for those that need, and also pray, it's enough already. Let's turn this around. Let's be able to heal those hearts that deserve it. The people around the corner from me here, a beautiful mother who passed away, and her husband who wasn't able to be there. He himself got corona, was in shul, he was in hospital rather, and I spoke to him before Yom Tov, and he said to me with a mask over his face, he says, who's going to say Yizkor for my wife? I told him, don't worry, we will. I'll make sure somebody said Yizkor for your wife. I said, and when you come back out, we will celebrate your life, alive, please God, and your wife's life through a Shiva. We will postpone Shiva to ensure that you get the necessary love and strength afterwards that you need and you deserve. And that goes for so many. Can you imagine, if we're talking about sadness, how many simchas, how many joyous occasions, how many celebrations were postponed that we have to double attend and double joyful and be triple excited and just engage in this happiness of other people's so much more so than before. So my friends, as much as I want to give you an uplifting message to say it's over, Pesach is over, Corona is over, not yet, but we're getting there. I really believe we're getting there. And you know how I know it? Because we have beautiful people like you who make a difference. And beautiful people like you are staying home and reaching out to others who need. There's a gentleman in our community who has given so many thousands, it's not his business, but given thousands of masks away. And as I mentioned before, a lady in the community who have sewn masks. People have changed their businesses around. And just this morning, an individual who gave 25, maybe 30,000 masks to the New York Police Department who didn't have, just dropped off over here. Another 2,500 masks. And I give them out directly to the doctors. So if you are in need, not for sale, God forbid, but if you're in need to give them to healthcare providers who need them to save lives, please let me know. That's another way we can stop this pandemic, we can bring about Yeshua and salvation. So as we count the Omer, we ask God, please give us our miracle. The same miracles that our forefathers had, let us have it. And each and every day, each person should get healthier, better, and well. And each and every day, we could be one day closer to having back our lives. I miss you all terribly. I look forward to seeing you very soon. We'll, please God, still be having Zoom classes and extra Zoom events, but you can't substitute Zoom. No matter how engaging and how brilliant and how innovative it is, you cannot substitute that for human interaction. So I wish you a Shabbat Shalom. Let's hope and pray that by next Shabbat, we'll already have a cure for this. And by next week, we'll be already marveling in getting back to life and the world back to itself. But just let's take it one day at a time and pray to God and be there for each other. I wish you a beautiful Shabbos. Stay strong. We will get through this. And the operative word here is together. Shabbat Shalom and Varach. A blessed Shabbos to you all.